Hey everybody, and welcome to Midnight Tales Volume 2. You can get this on itchio. I think it's like $2 or something like that. And pretty cool spoopy music. The vibe is a little bit like Creepshow with the font that's kind of like, ooh, you know. So yeah, we're gonna try it out. I played the first one before, not on the channel, but it's really, it's kind of an anthology thing with a kind of a frame story of like a person. And I don't know exactly what this one's going to be like, so we'll just get into it. See our options here. Okay. Resolution 8000. Well, I mean, it's not an issue. Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe it might end up being an issue. 1920 by 1080. There we go. Vertical sync. Gotta have vertical sync. Oh my goodness gracious. I'll set all this up. Oh, I guess that was pretty easy. All right. All right, so let's get into it. Story mode. Welcome to story mode. Josh receives an unusual visitor at his home, a mysterious man dressed in black wearing a mask. What will be the purpose of this mysterious being? Alright, so let's see what we got. I like these kind of short, kind of low poly PS1 style spoopy horror experiences. There are a lot of games I love. Like Skyrim, that maybe wouldn't work as well as little bite-sized videos on the channel to go through and experience. Here we're trying out my new light that I put on the side, because the last video was very low light and made it look grainy and just doesn't look nearly as good. So hopefully this will be a little bit better. Okay, so here we go. So we got the very pixelated, very low poly action going on. So Josh in his house. Alright, E for light switch. A beautiful landscape. Alright, got a PS1 right here. A Goni station. Alright. It reminds me. I recently modeled a bunch of classic consoles in a Blender to scale for use in my games, and also for building things, because I want to build like a tray to put them all in. So I had to line them all up and figure out the best arrangement so I can design the table for them. I don't have a PlayStation yet though. In there, but that's coming. All right, let's see. Shit, I got scared. Alright. Got our SUV looking thing out there. No, there's nothing to eat. Okay. So I think we've explored pretty much. Well, maybe not. What the fuck is going on here? Now we're in some otherworld Silent Hill-ish kind of thing. Okay. Better save water. Yeah, clearly that's your concern right now. That should be... I don't want to shit now. Alright. Alright. No line again. See, and I like how simple the exterior is, but it still evokes the spoopy, isolated mood that you want. Hi Josh, I'm sorry for turning off your lights. I don't really like bright places. What the fuck are you doing in my house? Who are you? You calm, Josh. I won't hurt you. I'm just here to amuse you. It's weird. Oh, oops. Something's really weird. Very strange. I don't play because I've played all the good games and there are no new games. There are plenty of games. Plenty of games. Just not with the big giant marketing budgets that you see in mainstream areas. But there are lots of awesome games coming out all the time. You got to be like actively looking for them in kind of lower budget areas. Steam, itchio, GOG, GameJolt. YouTubers who have similar stuff. So there's that out there for you. Yeah. I need to pay. I need to play, Josh. I brought you a special game. Take it. Don't be afraid. Okay. Okay, I'll play. I want to see if this game is any good. Do you? Is that really what you want right now? Is to see if a game's any good? And so I can't leave. Okay, here we go. So is this guy... Look, okay, look, his head always faces the camera. Kind of creepy and spoopy. And it looks like his body is 3D, but his head might... It's probably 3D as well. But it could just be a picture for all we know down here. You can jump, though. Okay. Whoa. Alright. Oh, everything's normal again. No problem. And there's the classic PS1 intro. Man, this TV is really small, which suggests to me that this actually takes place back when the PS1 was new, like 1998 era-ish. We got some El Rados. Got some El Shuos. Sleeping on some meat like it's a pillow. It's probably not super comfortable. Oh, it's me now. Okay. Okay, and so now we're in the game. And I like this. This is for one of my projects, TGS. I use code names for things until they come out a lot of the time, which is stupid for marketing, but I'm paranoid about people stealing them. But for TGS, it's like you can go into VHS tapes. Because I really like this kind of frame story format with the retro stuff. And you got the it looks like foggy. It could be industrial. It could also just be like English countryside, like some buildings, like kind of a village. Q read. Oh, just read. Okay. It's not Q read like you're gonna like QAnon read, like go like really hard. I'm gonna QAnon read so hard on this thing. Okay. Okay, so I can definitely it's just like, okay, so you see when they like go real hard on the pixelation. It's like, okay, that's cool. There we go. Military quarantine. Hello, citizen. Due to the situation we are living, home quarantine is decreed. I would like to remind you of your obligations. At the sound of the alarm, you'll have to take your pills, and after that, to finally enter the exam cabinet, check if it is clean. In case there's any contamination, I want you to wait for the cleaning team to arrive, and don't resist. We are working to build a new world. All right. Q put away. One thing I don't like here is how you have the low poly, pixelated, simple texture aesthetic for everything. But look at the buttons. It's like Q, put away, E, read, and rotate. There's like very high resolution textures. They're kind of like low resolution, high resolution. Kind of clashes a little bit. I'm cool with the text. Like I said before, I'm cool with the text being high resolution because it looks really nice and looks like it's very readable. Oh, there we go. Camera style. VHS PSX 1995. Wait, can we, oh my god. Okay. Controls a little wonk. Oh, there we go. It's a little clearer now. I think I'll stick with this just because I like to be able to see the art a little bit. So you can get the floating point errors there. The vertex snapping. It was a PlayStation 1 thing. And you can still fake it in Unity now where everything kind of wobbles. If you move your objects like more than a kilometer away from the origin of the world, you start getting these floating point errors where like when the renderer doesn't really know where to place. It's like rounding errors, so it doesn't know where to place the vertices on things. So like you get this kind of effect. The way they would get around it on the PlayStation 1 is that they would just cut. No, I don't think they would get around that very much. A fine texturing where like you have glancing those walls and it goes whoa, whoa, which isn't emulated here. Get around that by cutting your geometry into smaller triangles so the distortions are less noticeable. But all right, let's see. All right, and we got 1,000 books here. On a PS1, this would have just been a big square. It's like, whoa. It's like when you do stuff like this, your triangle count, your poly count of your models, like it exponentially increases because you make one that's like, depending on how you make the top and bottom, as you can see here. So let's see. This is in terms of quads, which is squares. This is assuming the front is 1, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then on here it's 7, 8. And that's quads, so times 2 for triangles. So 16 triangles. So 16 triangles per book, I think. And then how many books do you have? Like the PS1 would not be able to handle just this bookshelf. And then, of course, you got these curved... anything you do like curved things that actually like go up and down and in and out, like banister posts and stuff, those are like really... multiply the polygons really, really fast. This whole entire bookcase on a PlayStation 1 would have just been a box with like a painted texture. Like they would have taken a picture of this. See how I do this? No, I'm not in Steam, so I can't just take a screenshot. But yeah, it is kind of cool. So it's kind of like mixing a low poly aesthetic with a little bit of a mid poly aesthetic. It's mixing. I'm sorry, it's mixing a PS1 aesthetic with a modern low poly aesthetic, where it's just kind of it's still smooth and nice looking, but it's just kind of simplistic, or simple, but in a good way. It's like stylized. All right, and we got this with the TV with the super high resolution textures on it. I like it. I think it's cool. But it's a little. Oh, there we go. It does clash like a little teeny tiny 1%, but I don't chill. Violent Hill, Evil Dent. I had an original like long vertical box of Resident Evil with this on the cover, and then like in 2012 I was living in a small place, so like my brain like went into like selling everything mode to make space so I can just function. So I sold a bunch of my old games, like so stupid. I sold my copy of Wind Waker that was original from 2002, and I sold that. And now I'm just like, why did I do that? Because now I have more space, so now my brain's like, why would you ever do that? Why would you? Because I collect video games and stuff, so now I'm like, why would you ever sell stuff? This is a much nicer house than the one we were in a minute ago. Anything on TV? My Old Companion. All right, let's see. I'm glad you can't open the drawers because I hate opening drawers in video games. One of my like game design principles is that anything that could be inside of a drawer should instead just be on top of that drawer, outside in plain view. That's kind of how they do it in like Resident Evil 1. You have those like little glints that make things visible. Because it's just like, why make people go search through 1,000 drawers? It's not realistic because like again, you're going to see a bunch of objects in those drawers that you can't interact with, which isn't realistic and takes you out of de-immerses you. Or they're all going to be empty, which is also not realistic and de-immerses you or breaks the immersion. So just leave them closed. Drawers, just leave them closed and set things on top. It's so much better. It saves so much misery and tedium. A good place to hide. Oh, we're going to need places to hide. Okay, and one thing to notice too is that to keep in mind too is like, so you have the frame story in this game, which is Josh. It looks like playing these video games at the behest of this creepy visitor in his house. But the individual games themselves, I think, are made by different devs. I think, and they're kind of compiled. Another one that does this really well, without kind of this kind of diegetic frame story of just a person existing, but more like in a museum setting, is like the Haunted PS1 collection games or series. Those are really cool too. Check those out. Haunted PSX or whatever. And it's just a compilation of a bunch of games kind of wrapped around it together. It's really, really cool. And they're all very short and cool. and unique and made by different devs a lot. So this, so this looks like a fly machine, like Jeff Goldblum style, where I'm gonna get in it and change. It does not look like a standard shower or bathroom situation. I mean, I don't have buttons as far as I know. But yeah, it looks like some kind of thing going on. Well, that gave me a weird parallax effect where I was like, am I walking into a wall? Then it's like, oh no, it's this. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so the hiding spot, anything wedged back here? Nope. Okay. Yeah, I think this is really cool. Because, see, like, look, it's very low poly, relatively speaking, except for the bookcase, which is, like, absurd, like, high detail. But, like, but even that would be pretty simple to make in Blender. But the rest of it, like this, very simple to make in Blender. It's a very, very, very simple. And yet, it feels good. It feels like a real place, at least to me. Maybe it's just because I grew up in the 90s, but I kind of think it's just, like, a valid art style. Shit, I need to take the pills and get into the exam booth. And of course we have the Silent Hill siren, which is really just a standard siren. A bomb air raid siren or something. Oh wait, so what did he say? It's hard for me to pay attention. I need to take the pills and get into the... And you can fail these and be kicked out and have to start them over. Good place to hide. But I can't hide. I need to take the pills. Do I have an inventory? No inventory. Oh, look at that, though. I thought you had a crawl. I thought I was down lower than crawl. Or than crouch. Uh-huh. Like Metal Gear Solid 5. You can, like, sit down and crouch down and go all the way down. Okay. Oh. There we go. Red eyes, gangrene, high fever. Watch out for symptoms. All right. Oh, look, there we go. And that's pretty cool. Notice how it's flat. It's basically you're watching a security camera monitor, basically, to do a mirror like this. It's just a render texture, which is like a camera behind the wall pointing out at you, and then it's like recording, and then you're using it as a texture on the mirror surface. It's one way to do it. Render textures can be expensive, but right here it's pretty simple, so everything should be fine. But another way that sometimes they do it is they just like mirror the geometry. So like behind this wall would be an entire other mirror bathroom, and there'd be a you character model in it, and it would just move the way you move. So that's one way to fake a reflection as well in like a low poly kind of PS2 or PS1. I think PS2 is when I started seeing stuff like that situation. Since actual reflections are, that's like ray tracing, which like for a game like this, even in Unity right now, is pretty taxing, but especially back then, no, you have to do these fancy fake things. I think the Silent Hill 2 bathroom mirror is like the mirror geometry. You're looking inside and you're actually in there. And mirrors are very spooky. They can be, so it's always cool to have them in a spooky game. And then in GoldenEye, the Egyptian temple, if you look in the reflecting pool toward the beginning, there's a mirrored version of the geometry underneath there, and you can tell it's not a real reflection because you're not in it. Well, I guess you wouldn't have a body anyway, since first person you'd be a floating arm, which you can see in the Quake ray traced thing. You can actually just see your floating arm in the actual reflections, because now you can have real reflections in the Quake ray trace demo. So do I take all of these? Oh, I just took pills. Okay, so now I have to hide. So I'm not hiding from a monster. I'm hiding from bombs, maybe? Okay. Alright, let's see. Clicking E everywhere. Maybe I gotta go in this thing? Okay. It's a pretty reflective Unity style reflection, specular reflection situation for this old poly game. Old low poly game.
Glim.
Ooh. So it's like an authoritarian kind of 1984 kind of brutalist environment. Oh, there we go. Hello. I can't take this quarantine anymore. I found a way out of this prison they call home. You could help me escape from here. Oh, Josh, wait. Is that the other guy from the Frame story? You are crazy. It's forbidden to leave your quarantine. If they find out you're here, they won't find out. Our neighbor Mark was killed by the cleaning crew and was not infected. I heard everything from my apartment. You need to go back to your apartment now. You'll end up getting in trouble. Oh, he got shot. Shit, I'm gonna hide. Shit. A good place to hide. Well, maybe do it. Well, I'm in quarantine. I'm in my apartment, so maybe they wouldn't mess with me. Maybe I'll talk to him. Sorry for what happened, sir. Your neighbor was contaminated and trying to escape. Okay, we're chill. Okay. My God, you shot him in the head. He looked healthy to me. The cleaning crew risks their lives out here to protect people from contamination. We have orders to kill. Our policy is zero tolerance. All good. I just don't want problems for myself. Follow the rules, and I guarantee you will have no problems, sir. Have a good day. Okay. See, and this bugs me too, how these guys aren't low poly. They're like PlayStation 2-ish rather than like PlayStation 1-ish. They're kind of rounded edges and kind of more modern style. And this right here looks like though there might even be a normal map here creating these crevices and everything. It bugs me. It bugs me. Of course, if you had that filter on that we turned off, you wouldn't notice a lot of this stuff. So you have like straight up low poly PS1 graphics right here, right up against like borderline PS3 2008 graphics. So it's like 1996, 2008, like right against each other. It's no big deal. But I will point it out because I think it's cool to notice these kind of things, like how these things like work together or work against each other. See, like this dresser is just a straight up modern asset, you know. Very nice looking, actually. But see, that's the thing. A lot of these games are relatively low budget, and they're kind of they don't have a lot of time to put them together. So a lot of times you'll have assets from different like asset store stuff, and then like custom made assets, and they'll be kind of put together. And there's not a lot of time to do what I call a coherence pass, where you go through the entire thing and make sure everything lines up in terms of what is it called, atomic pixel resolution. Where like see like if you see a pixel this square this big, for it to match it should be the same size on here, and it kind of is right there. But then you have these high poly details right here, you know, along with the floating point errors causing this wobbling effect. Like so, it's like PlayStation 1 textures, PlayStation 1 rendering artifacts, and then like high resolution modern geometry in this case, you know, like a high poly situation. So it's like, so yeah, it's like, so given more time and resources stuff, you could go through and do a coherence pass on all the assets and make sure they all match in terms of poly count and texture resolution, and also the kinds of surfaces that you would have, like whether you would have a normal map on it or not, or a specular highlight on something or not. But yeah, so it's oh, there you go. There's a fine texturing. See how that's like distorting out of the way? It's like whoa. The closer you get to like a glancing angle, like along the corner, like a skipping stone, I guess wobbly. That's a signature PlayStation 1 artifact as well. There are like 3 or 4 visual aspects that make something feel and look like a PlayStation 1 game, and that's part of it. Here, just for PSX, see what we got. So this is a little lower resolution than I would expect from the PSX, but also look how it almost hides a lot of the incongruities stylistically, to where now it's like this. It's much harder to tell that this is a very nice, high quality dresser. And same thing with the textures on this thing. It's much harder to tell that it's a higher resolution than the wall. You can still a little bit tell. But this is that's a classic technique as well, where you use okay, I guess we're going in here. Maybe not. I wish I had a little checklist. But where you use ways of obscure. I'm so bored. It's horrible being in quarantine. I'm going to play a video game. Okay, there we go. So I actually was kind of waiting around. But you can use things to obscure the imperfections. You know, like if you have like a horror movie and you have a puppet that's a monster in it, well, and it doesn't look that great, well, show it in darkness, you know, so people can't see. Cover it in like KY jelly and make it slimy and just keep it dark so you see a lot of the glint and stuff and the details, and your brain can kind of fill in the rest. There's a great video about this kind of stuff on it called Scanlines by H-Bomber Guy, where he talks about how like a lot of horror movies are scarier on VHS because it's harder to make out the details in the environment, so your brain fills in monsters and stuff, and it keeps you scared where there's none there. Whereas if you go back and look at the same movies like Aliens, for example, on Blu-ray, it's pretty clear. Oh, no monster there, no monster there, no monster there. We're fine, you know. So it's less scary. So that's part of what makes me think about how like the low poly retro PS1 aesthetic stuff, it actually can make things scarier than something being hyper photoreal done right, which is really cool because that means everything doesn't have to be like spending a billion years making everything high quality individually, because the synthesis of everything coming together makes it even better. Okay, so I'm chilling on my couch. We're playing a game. Apparently. Am I playing? It looks like I'm playing Silent Hill, honestly. And then we had that Silent Hill kind of rip-off game right up here, and Resident Evil. So if we can kind of, it's very hard to see. Can I zoom? I can zoom in, right? I was able to before. I guess we're kind of locked in right now. But it looks, I mean, he's on Silent Hill. You got the gray, yeah, and he's walking around. I love it, dude. I love it. Because it implies everything it needs to imply without actually having to program all that and be as detailed. Would I like this to be interactive? Sure, but hey, this gives you the vibe. Maybe it is interactive. I'm looking around here. Let's see what we got. So, yeah, I'm playing. Just a video kind of thing.
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl?
He's just straight up using the audio from the game. Oh, so it's kind of cool. It's almost like we're in a Silent Hill kind of environment if you look out the windows and stuff.
Stop.
Kind of like with a different context. Shit, exam again. Do I need to take the pills? I need to take the pills and get into the cabin. Alright. So I turned that off. Okay, so I'm going to take the pills. Alright, and getting into the cabin, which is this machine right here. Sorry, I keep left clicking and it wants me to press E. There we go. And this reminds me of like Half-Life or Portal. Like this vibe right here with the ceramic tiles, the white ceramic tiles and the big red buttons and everything, and the technology. Oh, it's so cool what you can accomplish with I mean, look at this. These are just like straight up squares. Like, well, I mean, they're cubes. You know, but there's probably no face on the top, so it's like, what, 10 triangles? But it's like, it feels like technology. It's just, this is what excites me about game design, is that you can accomplish so much mood-wise but with little effort. And I don't mean that as an insult, because obviously there's a lot of effort put into the actual game here. But like that square didn't take a lot of effort. You just go into Blender and go boop, 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 boop. But it gives you the vibe. It doesn't have to be this high poly thing with like a normal map and a bump map and a ambient occlusion map and all this stuff to give you the same vibe. And that's kind of what one of the things that makes me excited. What are we waiting for? I guess I'm waiting. That makes me excited for my game, Knott's game. NOTSSGAME. You can see it on my website, westingtyler.com. Some details about it. Is that it's like I'm making a whole big game that's like a spooky time loop adventure suburban game. It's like bigger than like Skyrim and Breath of the Wild combined. Like it's not it's really unreasonable. I probably shouldn't be doing it, but it's like the thing I really want. That's cool. I could close that from inside here. Oh, there was no door. I thought I was... Okay. But it excites me because, like, I can make... Tiffany? I can make a game where the sum of the... What is it? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Because, like, all my assets aren't going to be super high quality. But... Oh, shit. My God. Tiffany. I'm sure you weren't infected. You were right about the exam machine malfunctioning. Well, they'd be shooting people. Oh, I got a letter. I'm chill. But so yeah, so I can make my own game by combining a lot of low quality assets together to create a game that's hopefully going to be more than just a bunch of low poly assets. And I think it's cool. That's the liberating aspect of low poly stuff, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna read it. Hi Mike, I'm your next door neighbor. I saw what they did to Josh. My God, they're going crazy. Things are getting out of hand. That machine that examines us is already 5 years old and it's starting to fail. Josh was not infected. Okay, so we're in a kind of an authoritarian lockdown situation, almost like a Chinese COVID situation in like 2020, like some reports of that stuff. But in this case, it seems like we're getting misdiagnosed as being infected. So they're coming after us. And you saw right there, how do I get out of this? Oh my God. So right click should get me out of this. It says Q to put away. E to continue should also cancel out of it. Okay. And escape should as well. Am I crouched? Oh, there we go. So it looks like they're going into apartments now. Like when they suspect people are infected. Crap, there's no escape. If my exam machine fails, I'm lost. Okay. See, so this is actually pretty kind of spooky and interesting. It's like a vignette. The vignette's like a small experience, but it's really good at evoking this mood. And you could do so much with it. It makes me want there to be more to it, you know? And again, this is just one of the games inside of the Midnight Tales Volume 2 kind of thing. I wish I knew the actual name of this one. But, I don't want to play now. Well, companion. Got our Silent Hill. What's it called? Violent Hill and Evil Dent. Get it? This is funny. Love that stuff. Okay, let's see. So, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? So I think I can kind of see where this is going in terms of a place to hide and the machine malfunctioning. And so let's read this again. Maybe it says something. Okay, yeah. I'm clickety. And the question is, should I stay on this PSX effects, or I'm sorry, PlayStation PSX version, or should I switch? Exam again, they're going crazy. I better take the pills and go to the cabin. Uh-oh, it's gonna be bad. Before I do this, let me see if I can. Let's try the VHS one now. It's a little much to me. I like the effect, but I don't like the TV frame. It's a little much for me. It looks like I'm wearing like a mask of some kind. And I'm looking out of like a helmet. I don't like that as much. Let's go to 1995. I guess it means like 1995, what it like actually would look like, rather than like what it would look like in a game. It's like real life, basically. So look how smooth and high res that thing is. It's cool, but you don't notice it when you cover it up with the filter. Whoa! Uh-oh. It's checking me. And it looks like those are line renderers, I think. Oh no, shit, I'm not infected. I need to hide. They will kill me. Hide. One of the coolest Japanese names. See, like these leg posts are very high poly. Just like, because you have to, in order to have a smooth around here, it has to be like relatively high poly, like 12 or 16 polygons, quads, squares going all the way around. And then you have to lathe it upward where you go like doot, 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 all the way up to the top. So you're like It's like 12 times every curve in that leg, and you go all the way up to the top, and that's one leg. Then you got 4 of those, and if it was a banister or a railing, then you're like multiplying. You can get into thousands of polygons pretty quickly with like table legs and banister rails if they're curvy. So in my game, they're all just like squares, you know. If I have to duplicate them, like a front porch railing, just like square, or even triangle if you can get away with it. If you make them like 2 triangles, then you can get away with a lot because it's much simpler. They didn't find me. They didn't found me around. See, and here's an example for this. This is a pretty modern, nice asset of this fan right here. Pretty high res. For that cable, I definitely would have used little triangles. Just like because you're lathing the triangle like along the cable. So it's already going to be big just because you're doing all these curves and stuff. But it being a triangle, and in this case, you can actually call the bottom face. See, it's actually a dual. It's just like this top like this, going along like around like a snake like that. You can get away with it being a little simpler. I made it, but now what? Oh crap! I gotta leave now. Whoa! They caught me. Oh no! I guess they got me, and I'm dead. I think. You see the Z fighting on his hat? How like the triangles, the polygons are like on the same place. So they're like fighting. Z fighting is what it's called. Where like it's like, no, I'm on top. No, I'm on top. No, I'm on top. That's not necessarily an old technique or an old artifact. It's still common. It's just if you put 2 polygons in the same place, they're gonna fight for which one the renderer chooses to see each frame. Hi, Mike. Don't be afraid. You are immune to the virus, and with your help, we can find a cure. Okay. What's going on here? You're killing people. There's something very wrong going on here. The only way to find a cure is to find people who are immune to the virus. We infect some people to find it. We just want to save the world. Infect people? You guys are really going crazy. They cannot do this. They cannot kill innocent people. How do you infect people? What do you think is the pills in the pills you take? The pills are made from body parts infected with a virus. I want you to understand that we do this for the greater good, to find immune people like you. You son of a bitch, let me out of here now. I swear I will kill you. I wouldn't be antagonistic in this situation. I'm sorry, Mike, that won't be possible. We need you. Now try to relax a little, and soon we will start the draining process. Well, that's not very scientific. Rafael Braza. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, see, that's pretty. It's a cool experience. You know, you get that retro vibe and everything, and you get a good mood going on. Carl Casey White Bat audio. It's cool music too. Unity 3D Turbo Squid, where you can get models from, which is probably an Adobe Fuse, which is Marco Schultz and Adobe Fuse. Adobe Fuse is, I think. You make 3 character models with Adobe Fuse, I think. But yeah, okay, now I'm Josh again, back in the frame story. It's a plague doctor outfit from the medieval times. Did I scare you, my friend? I'm sorry about that. Did you like the game? Alright, the game is really good. I haven't played something like this in a while. I'm glad you liked it. The next one is really good too, but I need you to do something for me first. I really want to play the next game. What do I need to do? It's simple. Someone is going to knock on your door. I need you to kill her and deliver her body to the creature that will be in your room. Kill a person, you are crazy. I cannot take the life of an innocent person. Do not worry. Darn it, I clicked too hard. Because I'm clicking to autocomplete the sentence, but instead of auto-completing, it's just skipping it to the next thing. Usually in games, when you're like doing this, you can like, you click once to start displaying, you click again to autocomplete it so it's all on the screen that you can read it at your pacing. But in this, there's no autocomplete button. It's just like progression. So that's what's messing me up, I think. Alright, I'll do this for Goni Station. I want more horror games. Okay, there we go. So he's a video game. He's a hardcore video game addict, losing sight of what's important in life, kind of thing. Excellent, Josh. Get ready. She'll be here soon. Goni Station. I'm changing the. There we go. There we go. So I can see what's going on. Again, like I just love not having the filters, so I can study the assets. See, like this reflective glass texture, very modern. This texture right here, very retro. So it's funny they're right next to each other. God, I love it because like I have a lot of assets like this to make too, and it's just exciting to see them in action. But yeah, that's pretty cool. She'll be here soon, so I'm guessing I'll just chill until then, or kind of look around. Maybe I do something to progress. Paint, a beautiful landscape. See, some of these you might think they kind of seem like they're ESL, like English as a second language, like they're not originally in English, because you see things that say paint, and it's like I'm not gonna paint. That is a painting, right? But that's like you might not know that if you're not a native English speaker, or it could just be a typo. But look at that! Look how spoopy that is, and it's like 2 triangles. I mean, not really. Like each leaf plane is probably a quad, which is a big square. Which a square is always 2 triangles, but just assembled into a square. You got a nice sky up there. You even got like a little distortion glass texture there going on. It's pretty cool. Ew. It's pretty nice. It's a nice little shader. So this is Unity, clearly. Based on what they said. Well, I guess it could be different games. I don't know if they're all like connected exe files, like connected game files, or if they're all in the same like Unity project or something. Okay, so there's a creature. I better not touch the thing. Oh, and that symbol, that was in Midnight Tales Volume 1. I think it was actually like the symbol for the company that made this or something, or that put it together. Okay, now I can zoom in if I do right click. Okay. Better save water. I don't want to. Okay. Let's keep exploring and see if there's something we can do to progress. Stay at house. Oh, stay at house. So that was the name of the last one we played. And I guess they're going to pile up as we collect them. That's pretty cool. All right. So... I got an axe. Press tab to access the inventory. Alright, we got an inventory. The very high res image of the axe. Okay. And it says I-10s. Alright. Minor thing. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, that's some strong glass. Oh, check this out. It's not even holding it. That's so fun. Like levitating in front of me. Let's destroy it. And be done with this nightmare. No? Or the TV? No? Because I'm supposed to murder the lady. Alright, let's see. Can I destroy the creature? Nope. Telephone, no line again. Well. Those silly old guts creatures. Always causing trouble. I don't know why I buy these paintings. Reminds me a little bit like Clock Tower or the Raccoon Police Department. Oh, hello, hi. Won't you say anything, girl? Okay, then let's go. See, okay, so that's one thing about these games is they're pretty intense. Not really my cup of tea in terms of this. Like the first Midnight Tales, like one of the vignettes was actually like a school shooting where you were the shooter. It's a little it's a little too much for me, but it does give you the option to skip it. But like again, as a game dev, I played it but it's just like a generic, like you run around, we go boop 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 boop, you know. But it's like, man, these guys are pretty edgy sometimes. See, like, what is this? See, what is this? Okay, where do I put the body? What is it? I gotta feed it to the... Yeah, there we go. Bizarre. I'm dying to play the next game. Oh, it's like forming a person. Alright, so do we have it? Oh, there he's back. Yep. But yeah, now without the filter on, we can see that his face isn't just a picture. It is actually a 3D model that's just facing the camera, which is a really easy thing to set up in Unity as well. A look at camera kind of function. Congratulations, Josh. You accomplished your task. Here's the next game. Enjoy. Alright. This one's called Just One Night. So now that we've gotten our game, alright, we'll go to the next game. Just One Night. So now we're starting Just One Night. Here we go. One six. Okay, Just One Night. Good music once again. And again, look how low poly this is, how simple it is, and yet how effective it is at evoking. Like, you know where you are, you know what's going on, and you have the mood down too. I mean, it's like cinematography and like set design, it's just like all built in like a very streamlined way that's like very achievable for an average game developer. I'm very tired. I'm going to stop at this motel for the night. All right, the kind of road trip thing is reminding me of another game I love, which is Fears to Fathom. The volume 4 is coming out soon, but volume 2 is like this road trip thing. It's on they're pretty nice. They're on Steam. I think they're like $8 or $10 or $6 or something, 10 each. But they're very cool. They're like a cool experience. Each one lasts like an hour or two. Okay, let's just head right to the office. And we are going to turn that off. There, we're just going to see what's going on. So, Tom. Okay. Good night, beautiful young lady. How can I help you? Interesting. See, that's exposition built in. I didn't know it was a beautiful young lady, but now I do. Good evening, sir. I just need a place to spend the night. I'm too tired to drive. What's a pretty young lady like you doing around so late at night? I'm going to visit my mother. Can you please give me the room key? Well, of course. Here it is. Stay in room 3. It's very clean. Thank you very much. Have a good night, Tom. And yes, I am noticing all these little grammar errors, like commas where they shouldn't be or whatever, and it does drive me nuts because I'm like genetically like 13% grammar Nazi. But like I just let it slide. It's not a big deal. Shouldn't really affect the quality of the experience because the experience itself is really what matters. But it does bug the crap out of me when I see typos and stuff. I mean, it's just minor stuff. If you were speaking it, if it was voice acting, you wouldn't even notice because you'd be speaking it. And I always say, like nowadays, don't hear the words people say. Hear what they're trying to say. You know. And don't nitpick stuff that doesn't actually affect the point of what they're trying to say. Because people will be like real snobs about that stuff, and it's just a little cringe. Okay, he said room 3, I think, but there's no room numbers. So, alright, we're going through every one again. Maybe I used my inventory? Nope, no inventory. Although it does do this. We do that, okay. Alright. Alright. Spoopy. Can't get into any of these. Maybe it's a control issue. Oh, there's more rooms over here. No, I'll just jump through the windows. I don't know if I was supposed to be able to do that. I love it how it's like a locked door is actually coded in. Even with the little animation. It's like a little script, but I just jumped through the thing. Can I just do that with all of them? I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this. And are these at a different height? That triggers me too. Like, what is going on? Like, that wouldn't be a thing. Now, it could be like a creative choice, or it could just be like weird stuff happening. Okay. This one I can jump in. And again, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do this. Jump crawl. No? Jump crawl? Okay. So I'm not supposed to even be doing that. Alright. So let's look up at the sky. Get that immersion effect. That's a nice... they're low poly simplistically, but there are actually a lot of polys in there. Of those trees. They're very nice trees. I want my trees to look as good as that someday. Like legit, actually. I got the moon and the sky. Alright, well, see that light's flickering. It's probably telling me to go in there. But I'm going to walk around and see what's going on with these windows. See, these have proper... not this one. Well, there we go. Spoiler by weird error. I can tell this is the room I'm supposed to go into because it's the only one that has furniture. Okay, so... maybe I didn't pick up the key off the counter. That's probably what happened. So I'm going to do that right now. And there it is. That sound is a little too directional. When I'm faced this way, I can't hear it at all. Alrighty. Okay. I know it has to be this one. Because it's the only one with furniture. And I see that the scale is a little weird. So I thought I was like crouched or something, but I'm not. Because this bed is gigantic. That's one thing I'm doing with all of my assets too. Is like it's slow and takes a long time, but I'm trying to make sure that they're all scaled with the outer dimensions to be accurate to real life from the beginning. So the first thing I'll do is put a box in Blender, and I'll look online for the dimensions of an object, like a bed, you know, like a, and then I'll make those outer dimensions, and then I'll model the bed inside of it, or the thing inside of it, so it feels like it's close to right. Works better for VR too later, when you convert things to VR, if things are to scale from the beginning. I played Slender the Arrival in VR, and like the car at the very beginning of the game is like the wheels are enormous, and I was like, why is everything so gigantic? It's because they didn't program it in VR or for VR, so you don't notice how things are scaled weird as much until you're actually in there. But I've gotten better at kind of noticing it from modeling it a lot. Okay, so James says, "Good night, pretty lady. I noticed that you arrived alone. Do you want company?" No, and also just generally just don't comment that women are pretty. Just don't comment on people's appearances, just generally speaking. Here's how you do this. Good night, ma'am, or good evening, ma'am. And again, you're assuming their gender. Generally speaking, if people have a problem with the gender you assume, they'll just let you know, oh, hey, I identify as this. Okay, that's cool. You know. But, so I'd just be like, yeah, good night. Or, hello, ma'am. I would probably say ma'am, probably. I noticed that you're... Or if I knew their name, I would just say, hello, hi, my name... Or, is your name Jenny? You are Jenny? You know, or whoever the name is. Okay. I noticed you arrived alone. Do you want company tonight? That's a little much. I noticed you arrived alone. Oh, that's a little... I don't need company. I don't not even know you. Aw. What's with the aw? Okay. Sorry, I'm James. I'm staying in room 2 next to yours. What is your name, my princess? See, this guy's a little much. It doesn't matter. Get out of here and leave me alone, or I'll call the police. Alright, you bitch. City girls are all idiots. See, there's a special kind of, maybe that's Adobe Fuse. Those kind of models. Like you can see the facets, even though it's kind of like cylindrical arms. Okay, bye. Can you actually go and... Never mind. I changed my mind, James. No. Oh, that's nice. I have a full body. And the shadow's correct. I don't actually know how to do this in Unity yet, but I know I need to. My current solution is that I have the body, but like the upper torso is bent way back out of the way. I gotta, which would mess up a shadow like this. Why do I have no hair? Okay. Is that even a shadow from my model? Anyway, I gotta figure all that out. But this is, yeah, it's cool. You got the body. When in first-person games back in the day, I'd always go into the corner and stand like this, and so you could see a body below you. And a lot of them you can't. Most of them you can't. But I like it when you can. Feels more like you're a part of the environment. I'm dying of thirst. I'm gonna buy something to drink. Okay, let's go buy something to drink. Although I probably wouldn't be going out of my room at this point after this creepo dude was around. Oh, I can't run. Can I? I can't climb, can I? Okay. Alright, got our Proctor Depper. I'm very tired. I need to get some sleep. Alright. Like, look at the length of this bed and the size of these pillows. This is like California King. Like, extreme. Alright. My God, what is happening? I need to see if anyone needs help. Do you? I'd call the police. Hey, police, I heard a scream. Okay, so let's see what we got. I would take, like, anything. Anything as defense item. I guess the thought wouldn't be assuming violence. You would be, like, you could assume, like the vending machine fell on someone or something. But, okay. Whoa. The assassin killed you. You weren't able to get to your room. Retry. Got it. Okay. I like that I don't have to start all the way over. Or maybe I do, but we can do it, honestly, in like 3 seconds. Because I've, let's actually time it. Let's see what we can do. Just one night. So I have to get to my room. I would like it if I could skip this. You know, unskippable cutscenes from the cardinal sins of game design, in my opinion. If it ends up being super obnoxiously long, well, then we'll just talk during it. Let's see. So you got the car. No reflection in the mirror, but it's fine. Like, so again, like pointing out like you don't need all this hyper detail. I'm very tired. Oh yeah, we already know. I personally, for the arms and stuff, how you have these cylindrical aspects, like how they're faceted, you see like the going around. I would use smooth shading in Blender. That would make like it look smooth. It's weird because like things never really looked like this historically. If they were high enough poly like this, then it was smooth shading. That would have been PlayStation 2 and GameCube era. And if they weren't, if they were low enough poly, lower poly than this, to see the turn on there, to see the faceting, then it would have been like very simple, like Nintendo 64 or PS1. So like this would historically like was never really a thing in terms of this kind of faceting. But again, you know, whatever. It's a stylistic choice. It could be, but it doesn't really. It's not really the PS1 style. I would just smooth shading on this would have made it look really good. All right, let's see what we got. Tom, good night, beautiful lady. How can I help you? Evening, sir. Okay, well, yeah, we know the deal. All right, now give me the key. All right, go in. So I got to run back to my room really fast and close the door. And that's the idea that we're going for. Okay. No bathroom. Looks like no hotel I've ever been in before. Alright, so try to go to the thing. We got Duder. You want company tonight? No. Alright, here we go. Oh, gotta something to drink. And if we have to do it again, I'll probably just edit it out and just skip to actual action happening. If I mess up this time. I still can't tell if that's actually a shadow caused by my body. And my head's totally clean shaven. Alright, let's see. So let's practice opening and closing this door. So if I hit this, it's automatic. And this, it's automatic. But you have to hit right on the knob. So let's say I'm down here, and it's open, and then I'd be like this. I'm dead now. Okay, I messed up. That was too slow. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's see what we can do. Running down to my room again, and that's what we need to do. I'm assuming we'll just try and turn that off in case we're going to need to do that later. And can you climb out this window? This is why I like time loop games. It's because you can know what to expect and then plan ahead and do a different path. It's very cool. Because essentially every time you die in a video game normally, it is a time loop. You know? It's just not officially a part of the diegesis of the game that you're in a time loop. That's why I call one of my favorite time loop games ever is Hitman 2016. Because those environments are heavily scripted and predictable, and so you can make plans based on that. So what is the minimum percent closeness I can get here? Can I close this door? Let's try to do it. E to close the door. Run like a mofo. Oh, I didn't have to, Hide? 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 Okay. Okay, hoo-hoo. Of course, I should have busted a window out and then hid under the bed, because then he would think I went out the window. Like, where else could I have gone in here? He's gonna get me because it's a horror game like this, and I want you to have good feelings at the end. So it's I'm gonna get. What are we going for? Yeah, where else? Of course I'm under this thing. Is he gonna jump scare me now? I would probably just like stay under here for like hours, and if he was sufficiently gone, I would like try to get to my car as quietly as possible until the last possible second. But I would disable the other vehicles in the area too if I could. Oh, there we go. We need to get to my car and get out of here. Am I gonna fuck up now and have to start all over again? I would have disabled his tires or something. Scissors, anything. Oh, so she actually is clean shaven on her head. Like relatively short hair. So that was actually her reflection. Was it just like a default model or something? Come on, Broseph. Why would you do that to the driver of the vehicle? Like when you're in the back seat. Presumably going more than 3 miles per hour like it looked here. Well, it's a meanie face. Alright, well, it's unpleasant. Rafael Braza, same guy. Interesting. And it looked like the same kind of aesthetic, too. We have the mix of like the Adobe Fuse characters, I think, and then the PlayStation 1 aesthetics, and then like random Turbo Squid higher quality assets in, and the same guy doing the music, Carl Casey, White Bat Audio. Maybe Midnight Tales is just one person. It's not like the Haunted PSX Game Jam thing where it's a bunch of different things. Same credits. Mm-hmm. Alright, and yeah, it's annoying that it keeps changing my setting back. I want to keep this all throughout. All the experiences, just keep that filter off. It's going well, Josh. You're being very important to us. I'm really enjoying the games. The last one was kind of short, but it was fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it. The next one will be the last and more bizarre. Just the way you like. The last and most bizarre, I would say, probably. I'm looking forward to playing it soon, and I'm glad you're helping Goni Station not to die. Goni Station lives in us. Here's the game. Hope you like it, my friend. Alright. Oh, so we're just... Alright, let's see. So it looks like we're about to play the final Goni Station game in Midnight Tales Volume 2. Alright, so let's put this in. The final game in Midnight Tales Volume 2. Goni Computer Entertainment. That might be copyright infringement playing that audio, but hopefully no one will care or notice. 616. Alright, turn off the filter. Turn off the filter. Oh, I'm in the middle of the credits, so I can't. There we go. It was like a layer, like probably a canvas layer in the Unity canvas system that was like on top of everything else, so I couldn't interact with the other menu that I brought up. Also, maybe like during cutscenes, I would disable the ability to enter the menus. It would just be a simple main line boolean. It's like, are you in a cutscene? Yes, no. Well, then don't allow escape to open or close the menus. That's what I'd do. All right, so we got a nightclub with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people plus the bartender. So it's a more intimate gathering, not exactly a. You know what's really funny? I want to talk about this. Like, God, what's it called? It's like, if you have a lot of people, if you have the size of the space you're in affects how empty something feels, not how many people are there. This feels kind of empty because it's such a big location and there are only like 6 people. But if you just cut this room size in half and made it more packed together, then it wouldn't feel nearly as empty. It would feel like it should be a few people. Yeah, so you can affect how people feel based on not just changing the number of characters, but changing how big the space is, how empty you want it to feel, even with the same number of characters. Hello. Hello. This is very familiar to me. I think I might have made a character who looks very similar. Hi, cat. What's your name? Oh, hi, cat. Like, cool cat. Hi, lady. My name is Josh. What's your name? My name is Alyssa. You are very... Which is another game I need to play soon. You are very handsome. Are you single? It is my pleasure to meet you, Alyssa. You are very beautiful. I'm single, yes. Wow, that's... Wish that happened to me. It's like, hey, man, are you single? Like, you're asking me? Oh my god. Yes? It's like, usually it's the other way around. It's like, lady, you single? Blah. I try not to act like that. But, okay. You're wearing a ring. It looks like you're married. Oh. No, I'm sorry about that. My wife passed away 2 years ago. We still have the ring on. Maybe you should need to have some fun. Okay, that's cool. This is exactly what I need. Do you want to go somewhere quieter? Come on, kitty. I'm going to make you have a lot of fun. That's suspicious when a woman is that forward. It's like, are you going to murder me? Is your secret, like, psycho boyfriend going to jump both of us and kill me with your help? Because you planned it. Was it called a honey trap or something? Or you like lure guys to their doom or something? Anyway, you're very forward and suspiciously forward. Maybe that's just what it's like when ladies like you, but Wouldn't know much about that. Okay, let's see. So we're going somewhere quieter, which is not the bathroom apparently. They're really just like, yeah. Okay. Hello, nice to meet you. Let's go somewhere quieter. Oh, cool. So we're actually in a place now. See, and this is cool, chilling, like going on a date, you know? But, like, I know it's going to be some spooky, horrible stuff, unfortunately. But it's like, I'd be cool with a game where it's just like that, you know? Just chilling. Like a Q to examine. Why Q this time? Why is it sometimes E and sometimes to interact and Q to examine? Really, just you could just do one interaction button. Just interact. Interact. Whether it's reading something, opening a door, interact. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, so this is my place, I'm guessing. But then I have a daughter, though. My perfect family, I love you. Okay. I really like the pixelated textures. Even though those are very fine details on the stove. Like the pixelated texture makes it look really cool. See, but then you have the super high-res texture right here with the normal map and the specular highlight map and all this stuff. And it's like, no, just get rid of it. See, in my game, like step one for me is I got rid of all normal maps. I just don't have normal maps in my game. If I need to smooth shade something, like for instance this TV, how you can see the quads, which are basically two triangles stitched together, like I've said before, I'll just smooth shade that in Blender, you know. But depending on how faceted of a look you're going for. But yeah, I get rid of all normal maps. Although some shiny stuff like this is okay. But they're just a specular map, or a specular setting in the Unity material. And why is the floating point errors, the vertex snapping, happening only with the table right there? But not with like the TV. It's very strange. It suggests a different material. But I thought that was like a rendering pipeline level thing. Like it would affect everything. Like if you use like the PSX effects rendering pipeline, which is not compatible yet with the Unity, the URP or something, so I can't really use it. It's its own pipeline or something. I don't know. I'm working on it. I want to be able to switch back and forth in my game between like more modern stuff like this TV, then more PSX looking stuff like that. That then wobbles. All right, and that thing, the candelabra has the same thing, where you have the floating point errors. It probably is the PSX effects plugin you can buy on the asset store, which I bought, and it's really awesome. Okay, hello, Alyssa. Hey, love, where's that drink you promised me? Ah, yeah, sure, I'll get it from the kitchen. I'll be back in. Okay, well, that's one exception to the women randomly coming up to you and like being super forward and wanting to go do stuff with you. Some women just want drugs or beer, and so if you're just like if you like are presenting this as like, hey, I got some blow at my place, some women and men will just be like, okay, let's go, you know, as long as I get the blow or the drugs or whatever. And it's like, but yeah, I don't think it's quite that extreme. I just think it's I'm thinking too much into this situation. Oh, poison and the machete. Am I the baddie? Are we the baddies? Oh, I am supposed to get it. Come on, man. I'm the baddie. You know, it would have been better and more effective then if, like, we eliminated all doubt that she's bad. If, like, I was, like, being super charming or something and, like, ha 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 ha, ha ha ha, here, have another drink, ma'am, ha 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 ha. You know, of course you wouldn't call her ma'am. But, like, then it would kind of, like, give that hint of, like, predatory thing that you're, like, the baddie. And that she wouldn't just be coming on super strong out of the gate. Maybe you'd even have to, like, persuade her a little bit to go or whatever. She's like, I don't know. I kind of want to stay here with my friends. Oh, it's cool. Haha, no problem. But I got some cool beer. You know, some dumb... I don't know how humans interact, but... Okay. So... Oh, I just put it in all of them, I guess. All right, here you go. And look at this bottle. Look at the inside. How it's not even modeled inside. It's just the top. down to where the fluid line would go. That's like a super simple modeling thing to do. But again, works pretty well. Personally, for me, it does bug me to not have the interior modeled, and I would have the liquid at the level inside as a separate object. But it's fine. Thank you, dear. Wow, what a party. All right. I guess I get one now. Well, did this need to be the thing? Dismember. See, these games, some of these low-budget indie horror games, I mean, especially the Midnight Tales ones, they can be pretty intense. Puppet combos in that ballpark too, in terms of the content stuff. It's like, yep. So they're doing the horrible stuff. Can't we just have horror games where people chill and are nice? You know, like last time I watched like Friday the 13th Part 7. I was like, this is a cool movie. These people hanging out at this beach house. Oh, there's some romantic tension. There's some things going on. And then Jason's just around ruining everything. It's like, dude, chill out. Just let people hang out and have a good time. There's no need for the meanness. I'm really married to do this. But it's necessary. I need to pack the body and take it to the lighthouse. I'm really married to do this. I don't know what that means. He clearly says, I'm not trying. I don't want to do this. Shit, I'm almost out of gas. I need to fill up the car. I should have guessed it was the same. It was like one larger Unity project of vignettes from one developer, because like all the systems are the same. And like and like PSX, Haunted at PSX, it like switched back and forth, totally different games. So what's okay? All right, let's see. See, I like it. It's so spoopy. Oh, we're getting those. So see what's happening here? These trees, no wonder they're so good looking. Is this a... Yes, it is. Okay, so this is an imposter system. Basically, it's an LOD system, level of detail. The farther away from the trees you get, the simpler they get. So you don't have to render all the details, because you wouldn't see them anyway, because the amount of screen space they take up is so much lower. So the very close trees, you can see all the leaves, and they're very 3D, and all that stuff. But if you get sufficiently far away, I'm going to back up a little bit. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, it's the car. Okay. Watch this. The closest tree. See how they're popping? They're changing. Can I go around this building? Yes. Pop, pop, pop. And there we go. Wait, it's still not doing that first one very much. But okay, the ones next to it. But yeah, they're forward-facing flat planes. But they might be actually using the Amplify Imposters plugin from the Unity Asset Store, where it actually calculates how they would look from different angles and then like puts that into the thing. But usually it doesn't make them bend like this. This is it's funny. But yeah, they're flat planes. They're camera facing, but like you can get these weird angles, and they kind of doesn't quite look as convincing. Which again could be a stylistic thing, and it's a little disorienting, which also could be a choice. You know, like if you want something to be disorienting, like a fine texturing. If you're crawling through a vent in Metal Gear Solid, it's like all the textures, which is no good in Metal Gear Solid. But of course, there's a limitation at the time. But now, if you did it, you could do it for effect, like simulate like drunkenness or anything like that. What's that? I think that's it. That's it's not a fine, but it's like a weird. It might just be floating point stuff. Like the window is like set to like deform the vertices. It's so weird. Why are some objects using the PSS effects, like kind of vertex snapping, like the glass there, but the building itself is not? It's very interesting. Okay, let's see what we got. So, see, and this is an example of atomic scale of textures. Like the pixels are super dense here, so it's very high, very smooth. Of course, just stretched, because I think it's a square texture stretched along like the cube. The cube is stretched along, so it looks kind of like has a grain to it. Then right next to it, though, you have the low poly PS1 or maybe it's it's a high res texture, but it's just stretched over such a large area that you see these big blocks. That's an example of an inconsistent atomic texture resolution, which could be good or bad. It's usually something you want to fix so everything's kind of consistent. But you can also use it as a form of, I think, as a form of bokeh or bokeh, like the soft focus, to where like you're not supposed to focus on the ground over here, but maybe you're supposed to focus on this. So it almost simulates an out of focus effect when you have a low texture resolution on some areas and not others. So it can draw the player's eye to certain objects that you want to have more detail, and away from things that don't matter, you know, like the ground here. It doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, the actual game. Let's see what we got. Steve. Good evening, sir. How can I help you? It's a great night for a road trip. Good night. Put $10 worth of gas, please. Sure, my friend. Sorry to ask, but where are you going so late? My friend, I'm in a hurry. I need gas soon. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just that I get very lonely here, and sometimes I talk too much. All good. I just need to go soon. Ready, my friend. Stocked up. Be careful out there. People are disappearing. Stay away from the lighthouse. It's an abandoned and very dangerous place. Thanks for the advice. Good night, and see you later. Okay, so I'm guessing there's nothing else going on around here. Can I walk off this? Nope, it's kind of blocked. Invisible wall. Because I would just run all the way as far as I possibly could, then fall off the edge of the map, then soft lock the game and have to start the entire experience over. So it saves me from having to do that by saying, look, it's a waste of your time. Don't even bother. Just continue with the narrative. It's like, okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to look into this Adobe Fuse. These characters are not bad. Assuming that is what Adobe Fuse is. I'm thinking that that's what Adobe Fuse is a character creator. See, and as you can see, as I get close to trees, their LOD shifts to the LOD 0, which is the higher quality one. So you see all the detail on them and stuff, and you don't just have this flat, rotating picture effect. There we go. And you get the shadows coming in as well. Yeah, that looks like Amplify Imposter. It looks like an advanced LOD imposter system where it creates those dynamically, or it creates them in the Unity editor before you build the game, and then you have them automatically working during gameplay. So I'm driving down to the lighthouse. Are you supposed to drive along the pier thing? Can that support like a 2-ton car or whatever? I guess if it was built on top of like a rock embankment or something, then it would be fine. Instead of just being a wooden dock. Good luck turning around now. I need to get the body out of the trunk and into the lighthouse. God forgive me, okay? See, if you could have chatted. Chatted to go be crazy. Of course, now it's super dark. And how far this direction can I go? I'm doing it. I have to do it. Please block me soon. Thank you. Okay. To the lighthouse. Lighthouse. Okay. Sophie, Sarah are here. Are you here? It should say. I brought foods, comma, my loves. Let's see. Oh, so there we go. Got some deadens. Daughter, wife, you can come feed yourselves. Oh, are they actually like spoopy monsters? Now we're getting some retro 8-bit music. Oh, they are alive. Ooh, so I'm actually doing a good service. I'm trying to just take care of my wife and daughter. Wait, are they, I'll never abandon you, my loves. Well, maybe they'll live at your house. So the question is, are these people alive? And, like, I'm just mistreating them and forcing them to eat remains. Totally, this music doesn't fit. It's kind of upbeat. That's fine. The music from a second ago was really cool. That 8-bit kind of thing. Almost like retro Jason, Friday the 13th music. Unity. Engine, Turbo Squid, 3D models, assets, Adobe Fuse characters. I think Marcos Schultz. Maybe he like put it all together or something. Well, what are you doing with your? So I got about 3 games. Oh, I turn off the filter again. Simple setting. I would just put that in a script, like have a universal settings script that's just like, you know, like what's your progression in the main story, and then what are all your settings. They would just be in one script, and we can access it, you know, and make sure we keep our things set. I think it's probably loading a different scene, and it's not carrying over. I have my settings in its own scene, and then I additively load, so I keep that settings thing loaded at all times as I load the geometry of the scenes, like the different scenes. So it's persistent. So my camera and all those things are persistent across the entire project. So then, like, I wouldn't have to change the settings all the time every time I switch scenes, because it doesn't remember. You can also save it in player prefs, I think, and then access that and check to see what my setting was. Congratulations, Josh. And see, there should be a comma there after congratulations, because you're referring to a person. Congratulations, comma, Josh. And there's no capital there, even though there was the first sentence. That's what triggers me so hard. Together we will create a better world. I'm happy to help, but after all, what is this creature? This is Goni Station. It creates bizarre games to amuse us and drive people crazy. Now it's your duty to feed him dirty souls. What madness, but I'll do everything to keep this style of games from dying. One last question. Who are you? Ha ha ha. Who am I? I am you, Josh. Again, you need a comma there. And why is there that I not capitalized? Why is... Okay. Oh, he's me. So you got the render texture again. So it's not actually 3D. It's more like you're looking at a computer monitor. That's another camera looking at me. That's pretty cool. The music is especially pretty awesome. Very retro. I wish I knew how they make it, so I can make stuff similar to it. So I think that's it. I think that's Midnight Tales Volume 2. It's a little shorter than Midnight Tales Volume 1, but it's a cool bite-sized experience. It looks like I've been recording for 1 hour and 30 minutes, so I guess that's not too short, but most of that's me wandering around like an idiot talking about random game development things. But yeah, that's what I like to do. So yeah, very cool, very cool. I can't wait till Midnight Tales Volume 3. Maybe it's out by now. I've had this one on the back burner, meaning to play it for a while. But as you saw randomly in my list of games there, I got a lot of stuff that I gotta play. So yeah, but I like this stuff because again, like the low poly aesthetic. Depending on, my games aren't going to be quite spoopy like this. This game is scary and like gory, whereas the game I'm making is more like a Goosebumps style game. It's more like a kid-friendly kind of thing. Like in my game, there's no gore. There probably won't be blood. There might be like green slime or something. There's no cussing, no drugs or alcohol. They're like parallels, like how in Majora's Mask, like there was a milk bar where you could go get crazy on drinking milk. You know, like there's stuff like that in my game. Where like adults will get it, but it's not gonna like offend anybody. Yeah, there's no like sexual acts in my game, and again, like I'm not super prudish. I don't care. Like I'm perfectly fine enjoying a game like this that has like really spooky or intense stuff. But I'm trying to see like if I can make a good game without those things, then it just allows my game to be experienced by a much wider audience. You know, so more like Stranger Things style or Goosebumps or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. But I like this stuff too. Puppet Combo, Chilla's Art, 16 games. I played a couple of their things down. They're pretty cool. Game Select, Stay at House, Just One Night, Secret of Lighthouse. Very cool. I like these kind of ways to select it. In my game, it's like a shelf of VHS tapes. And as you unlock them, they kind of interlink and stuff, like ideally, I don't know. Very cool stuff. And that's my game TGS, which is about VHS spoopy things. Whereas my Knots game, Time Loop game, is what I've been mainly talking about. But yeah, I love this kind of art. I think it's very cool. I love having an array of all the basically progression and unlockables in the terms of like the experiences you've unlocked, and you can go back and play them anytime. I think that a lot of games, I wish they had chapter selects, like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, one of the coolest games I've ever played. But I don't want to play the whole thing all over again just to get to like the wrestling chapter, which was awesome, you know, or the train chapter, which was also awesome. So I wish I could just select. Similarly, like Eternal Darkness for GameCube. I dumped my GameCube copy, and so I could emulate it and use save states with it. And I have save states after each book chapter. So basically, when I go and play Eternal Darkness, I just basically edit out all of the actual book things, because I just like the mansion. Everything about Alex Roivas in that mansion is awesome. And I wish there's a way to just select like a only play these parts of the game thing. So I think being able to choose what you want to play of a game is just a really good idea, like an a la carte kind of thing. And it also allows you to share the experiences you want to share without having to deal with the parts you don't like. Like Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was a great game, but my favorite part of the game was the taxidermist DLC, where you sneak into this creepy guy's house. You got to investigate to see what's going on, you know, if he's a baddie or not. And but that they brought the Heavy Rain to Steam, and they didn't include the taxidermist apparently. But that's like the one I want to show people, I want to share with people. Like, hey, here, play this. But I can't because it's not there, and that's obnoxious. But because if it were there, you could just select it. You know, select the things you want to share with people and have them experience. And so I think it's kind of a good idea as you unlock them that they get up here and you have chapter select essentially. All right, well that's it for Midnight Tales Volume 2. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. So I guess that's it for now. Hopefully we'll play some more stuff soon. And thanks for watching.